You're listening to Danny and Baz Chat Shit. That was just fun to say. They spilled the beans and hope for the best as they continue their travels around the land down under. Follow along on their adventures while they teach you what not to do as they continue just winging it.
Recording now.
Action.
Hello. And
We
welcome.
need to always remember to look at the camera. This is going to be a tough one. This is the first one.
This is our
Cut us
first.
some slack. Cut us some slack, guys. This is it.
I actually need to take off these headphones. I can't
Do
deal with
you?
this. Surely this isn't how you do it.
I don't know. Why? Is it for show?
I don't
Maybe.
know. I'm gonna have to take them off. I can't hear myself think.
Okay.
That's better now.
But did the sound alright with my mic and stuff?
Well, we'll
Sarah?
soon see, won't we? Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Just Swinging Out.
Yeah, just wing.
This is our if this all goes well, this is our first ever visual.
Visual and audio podcast in the one. So it's quite strange just staring at the camera and talking, isn't it?
I mean, you surely love it.
No, actually, I don't know if I do.
Any excuse for you to be in front of a camera.
I mean, I do like to be in front of camera, like, but not when I'm talking yet.
I also feel like I feel like we need to be facing each other.
I know. I'm just talking to this camera, like.
And we're also, this is going to be the fun thing about this podcast is it's never going to be the same set more than
Exactly.
probably 3 times.
Because we're travellers. We're gyppos.
Yeah, so if you're new, welcome. We are the people behind Northern Irish Gypsies, Northern.Irish Gypsies, on Instagram. And we recently just made our Instagram page and have been traveling Thailand. Traveling
We have been travelling Thailand.
for what? How long?
We came over on I think we came over on the 18th of October. I think so. Anyway, October, November, December, Jan, Feb.
Is it February
Is it
already?
Feb?
I don't even know.
Is
What
it?
month is it? I
Yeah,
don't
it
even
is.
know.
It is. Mid-Feb. We're filming this on a Sunday afternoon in Chiang Mai. If any of you don't know where Chiang Mai is, it's north of Thailand.
So we actually did a trip. I feel like we really aren't prepared for this.
I know.
We just kind of to put a bit of a backstory on this. This has been a podcast that has took about 3 days now to get the fucking mic sorted.
Yeah. So we've went back and forth, 9 times? How do you say it in Thai? 9?
Go.
Gao times?
We've been to the same store, so we went and we were like, because we've done this before. We've obviously had this podcast before. If you're from then, hi
If
again.
you're an OG, then
You know.
just-
But
you're
you know,
just
at the very start, we were
gangster.
just
Love
literally
it.
recording it on our phones. Then we got other little mics. I think we maybe only used them once or twice, and they stopped working because they were cheap from like Amazon.
cheapskates. We're
Then
travellers, like, you know.
we went back to the recording on the phone. Then we got mics recently. So when we actually did the first episode of season 2, which we never followed through with it because the mics were so bad. We got those ones that are what do you call it? Wireless.
Yeah,
And they were shit.
they were so bad.
So we decided to just bite the bullet and buy actual proper mics. But then we bought cheaper ones because us being us, we went for the cheap ones. They were absolutely shocking. Plus, you know what? Apple, get your shit together because, or just technology in general. I don't
Yeah.
understand how in this day and age, like, have you seen these new things? I don't know what you call them. The Apple things.
Have you seen this? Stop exposing me, baby.
No, the headset things. Have you seen them?
No.
You haven't seen these?
No.
What are they called? I don't know what they're called, but it's a new thing out now. I think it's been a long time coming, but they're officially out now. Like, people are now walking around with they're like goggles,
Okay.
but you can see like stuff from like your
it just
phone.
looks like
or-
your main screen of your phone, like apps and shit, right?
Well, I mean, kind of, but not really.
Right. Okay.
Sort of, yeah.
I'm
but-
on the same boat.
The thing is, my point is, you can walk around in the outside world but be able to see everything on your phone or whatever you're watching, but you can't connect to of the same mics to a laptop and have them.
Not right, like.
So anyway, that was a problem. So long story short, we got it sorted. We had to get two different mics. One's a shitter mic, one's a good mic.
We went 9 times, a lot of fuel, a lot of wasting time, 3 days of our precious life. And now we're here. We're chilling.
We're here, we're doing it.
We're recording, hopefully. Everything's recording. Right.
But we're also not really prepared because we don't even know what we're talking about. But this is probably just like an introductory one for all the new people who came from Instagram, because before it was just on like Spotify, blah, 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 and that's where we kind of got followers. And we were... it was more based on like Australia working holiday visa, which this still will be about that. But right now we are traveling in Thailand, so we thought we'd tell some stories about that. And it's been a roller coaster over time.
It's been, honestly, sweetie, I swear we're gonna write a book.
Yeah, we have
to
write a book.
Us like to write a book, and I swear we need to write a book.
And I'm so sick of forgetting stuff.
There's that many mad things that have happened, and it just keeps. It's funny because it's happened to us so often that we're just used to it, right?
Yeah.
We're just used to the whole like shit show happening all the time, and now we're just like, it's just funny. You just gotta laugh, because if you didn't laugh, you'd cry.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've done a lot of crying.
We've done a lot of crying.
I've done a lot of crying.
You can't tell people that we cry, you know what I mean?
Well, normally you don't. Normally you're just like, why are you crying? And I'm like, freaking out.
And then I'm like, it's gonna be alright. And then you're like, yes. And then I'm crying. Like,
yeah, normally it works out like that.
We bounce off each other. That's what couples do, you know?
Yeah.
That's why we're a good, strong couple.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, brother. Podcasting and all, look at us.
I know, who do we think we are?
So mental, hey.
But we had our first crash.
Yeah, wow. And we're wounded. Well, I can't really show my wound because it's on my gut.
Get the gut.
And that gut is big, like. You maybe don't see it because I'm wearing a black t-shirt, but I've got a wee spare tire, like.
A wee one?
Well, it's not that big, like.
Well, some would say.
Depends
who's asking.
Now. We're at the gym and we're trying. We're on the mend, you know. Like, it takes time. These things take time. You just gotta have patience, you know. Patience is a virtue.
Nice. Yeah, we crashed. We I don't really know where to start, but basically let's step it back a bit and like introduce ourselves to the people who are new.
Right.
So we have been together for,
let's go with 2016 January. So what is it now? 2024. Like 8 years.
Is that right? Not 9?
8 years. Well, it's Feb now.
Was it 2016?
8 years.
Okay, doesn't matter. The point is, we've been together.
Just over 8 years.
We're together. We in what year was it we went to Australia?
2018.
Is
2018, yeah.
Okay, so only 2 years after we're together. That can't be right.
No, that's not right. I don't think that's right. No. When did COVID happen?
2020.
Yeah, we went to Australia before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in 2018.
Okay, so
we met in 2016 and went to Australia 2 years later.
So 2 years after we were together.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So we initially went. We've told the story before about Bundaberg, so I'm not going to go over it again. If you do want to listen to it, you can go back on our episodes.
Great story.
On Spotify or wherever you listen to
Very
traumatizing. But just to get a bit of a story together, but also not to go into detail, we did our first working holiday visa. Then my mum came over. We went to Bali. So we did like the whole East Coast with her. We went to Bali, and then like literally the week after we flew back to Australia from Bali, COVID happened. So that kind of fucked up our plans, because our plan initially was to do the work for the second working holiday visa, then do the work for the third working holiday visa, which came out, and then before we used the third working holiday visa, we were supposed to go traveling. We were going to do all the whole travel, I don't know, probably interrailing or something along those lines. But then obviously COVID happened, blah, 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 blah. We couldn't do it. But we got really lucky, because then we got an extra
Like a COVID.
We actually ended up getting 3 extra visas,
3
right?
extra years,
Fast forward, we've been married and all from that. We got married in a forest in Bournemouth,
in
Margaret River.
Western Australia.
So that was
Beautiful
cute.
place.
That happened in June. We didn't tell anyone. That was a full surprise. And then we went home for the first time in 5 years. Went home to visit in July.
Wow.
So surprised everyone with that. And surprised them.
Expected a nice summer, nice sunshine, but then who are we to think that?
And that was stupid, wasn't it?
So bad.
We
So
literally
bad. I think
were like
we got 2 days, did we, of sunshine?
3. Oh no, 3 days that didn't rain.
Mm.
Something like that,
I think we
right?
got sunshine, like 12 degrees or something.
Something like that.
Sorry, like
Yeah.
taps off. It was taps off weather, like.
It was not. The whole thing was we were like, should we go home December for Christmas or should we go home for the 12th of July? Ew.
And we didn't even do anything.
I know.
Because we were like, no, this isn't really.
Because it
us.
also was not the way. That's another thing. Like, it's not how we remembered it to be.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just not us. Like, the 12th. We used to love the 12th when we were 18, 19. You know, that's when we met. And then we go back and we're like 26, 27. And it's just not like 7 years or whatever, 5 or 6 years have passed.
But even
and you're
everything, like, it wasn't the same at
everything's
all. Like, the
changed.
bonfires weren't the same. The vibe
Yeah.
wasn't the same.
Everyone's on drugs, man. Back
I know,
then.
it's
Everyone
crazy.
was like, everyone's lit. Like, flip me, we've all tried drugs and stuff like before. That's kind of why we got away from Australia, because everyone was just working Monday to Friday and then just drugs on the weekend and skint and then depressed Monday. And it's still going on, but it's like times 20 now.
Yeah.
Everyone's on it. Like, people that you thought
Would never, yeah.
ever touch like weed are now like
On coke.
on the gear,
Constantly.
like
Yeah, no, that was a really big shocker.
so.
Like,
it's quite. It's
Don't get me
actually
wrong, I get
crazy.
it. Like, I get it. You're heading out, you get a bag, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, now you realise that no one's going out. Like, no one's just going to the bar
You can't
for a
go
few
out
anymore.
without a bag.
Yeah,
Like, it's like,
everyone-
I need a bag before I go out.
yeah.
That
It's quite
bad.
sad. It's quite sad, but you realise also, like, a lot of people that we speak to or we meet when we're travelling, you know, we always have the discussion of, like, you know, why are you travelling? Are you going to go back home? Like, what's your plan? Blah, blah, blah. And, like, we're always like, well, we're definitely not going to go and settle back home. Like, that's not happening.
Never.
And then
never.
people ask why, and then you get into the conversation. The amount of times that we've said to people, like, no, when I say nearly every week someone else has either died or has committed suicide, I'm not being over dramatic.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that we meet are like,
Yeah,
like they
it's
probably
crazy.
think we're being dramatic and like, oh, that's crazy. And we're like, no, like actually every week there's someone,
Yeah,
and it's not
someone's
even, it's not like someone's that you know's uncle's mother's dog's
Yeah.
rabbit.
Yeah.
It's actually
Dogs rabbit. I love it. Love it.
it's actually someone that you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's someone.
Yeah,
it's
it's getting a bit close to home, so we're just
it's
like,
getting really close to home, and
definitely
totally over it.
doesn't encourage you to go back.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, so move forward. So we went back to visit, and then we came back. We done a bit of a honeymoon in Thailand. We stupidly only booked 2 weeks.
Which we knew. No,
We-
we booked a week.
A week,
Which
we
we
were like,
knew was not going to be long
Um,
enough.
the flights were so expensive. We were like, why are they so expensive? But now it makes sense because we booked a week. You know what I mean? That's why the whole flight's like back home to then Thailand for a week to then back to Australia. It was all crazy. Anyway, so we went there for a week and then we extended,
We extended for 3 weeks.
cancelled our flight, and then
Cancelled our flight.
extended.
Well, we didn't even cancel. We just didn't turn up.
Didn't turn up for the flight, and then booked another one for 3 weeks later, and then got familiar with a few locations in Phuket.
Yeah, so we did
Yeah.
Phuket. We only did Phuket, but we
Fell
did
in
do
love.
quite a lot. So we actually went to PP Island first.
That was beautiful.
Which, a heads up,
So
I've
good.
had lots of people ask, would you recommend it? Because it's one of those places that maybe, I don't know, 5-10 years ago was the place to go. Now it's really commercialized, and it can be a good thing depending on what you want to do. If you're going to go there and you're going to party, like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
it.
it would be great. But if you actually want to go and enjoy like the islands and like the vibe, I would highly recommend, because even when we were working in Phuket, like when people asked, what we did was we had paid for, like, we'd paid a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And stayed in like a really nice resort, but the thing is you get like the boat, the ferry to PP, and then you need to get another boat to the resort rather than a lot of like hostels and other resorts are like actually
Just
in
on
like the
that
town.
island. Yeah.
And it actually is pretty gross and dirty and packed and commercialized.
Yeah.
So if you were going to do that, I would definitely recommend paying the extra and go to a resort that's like around,
Definitely.
you know, around the side of the island. Just pay the extra because you're going to get then, you know, a secluded like little beach.
Yeah, it was
And-
nice. It was.
Yeah.
It was what you dream of. Like that's what you think. Like paradise, the view from the room, like the sea view deluxe room or whatever it was. It was so good. You were just looking at like it was like another island, and it was just right at the ocean. Beautiful. It was
Yeah.
good views.
Yeah.
It was good views.
It was a vibe.
And then looking at you in them views was just such a vibe. So good.
Okay.
But we were on a honeymoon. So,
So then we stayed in Phuket town.
Phuket town.
Then we did a little bit of, we went to Hawaii, Kata, Koran, and then
I think that was it.
Kata, Koran, and then we stayed up near the airport in the last night, which was also
Yeah, the airport was a
Ao
that was a
Nang.
vibe there.
Is that what you call it? Nang something?
That was such a vibe.
Yeah, it was really nice there. I actually would recommend there.
So
But
so we fell in love with this. We went to a certain cafe that we liked. It was pretty expensive, mind you, and we just found that the food was good. We weren't really into the. It's not that we weren't into the Thai food. It was a bit like we were just still wanting to experiment.
no, I think we just probably got sick of Thai food by that
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Not sick of it because you can't get sick of it, but we were just like kind of missed some
it was kind of it was a crazy, it was a funky menu, so we liked it, and we were like,
I don't really want to get into the details of
we
it.
don't want to
though.
get into the details.
But anyway, we got offered a job.
got off of the job there.
for a resort.
They kind of needed what we had to offer,
And it was our
then
ideal job. It was exactly what one of was all
Perfect.
aligned with
Perfect
all our
location.
values.
It all was kind of meant to be, and then we actually went to that cafe a lot of times, and then they invited us to stay at the resort. Went there and we're like, this is such a vibe, wow, we could do this. And then we actually, that was it, we got offered the job, blah blah blah. We still enjoyed the rest of our holiday, so we went to the place beside the airport. What is it called? We don't know what it was called. Yeah. Anyway, the resort was something in French, l'Esprit or something.
Yeah, that does sound
Remember? And it meant the name.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the
We don't
details
need to get
of
into
that.
it, but we were all just like, oh my goodness.
We
this
will
is
tell the
all
story
happening.
probably at some stage, but
Oh,
not.
yeah.
We're not
So-
probably ready for that yet.
Anyway, and then I went back to Australia until we had a few dog sits, so we pet and house sit, and we've got a business. Like, it's not a business, it's kind of for fun, a hobby.
It's a business, you make money, it's definitely a
We do make
business.
money from it, but,
What are you
yeah,
scared of the tax tax office is watching this? Shout out.
Yeah, so
We actually do pay our
done
taxes for that.
So
So,
we done that until obviously. So that was in August. We were in Thailand, stayed there until end of August, blah blah blah, and then September and mid-October we spent in Australia. We were staying in other people's houses and getting paid for it, looking after their animals, and then sold. We had two cars,
Mm-hmm.
3 suitcases.
no, we had our whole life.
Whole life, 3 suitcases, everything, crystals everywhere, a lot of stuff. We had our life in Australia, so we were like, right, we've got to get rid of this all and cramp our life into 2 30-kilo suitcases,
Hmm
2 hand luggage, so 7 kilo each.
Got
so
rid
it
of
was
a lot
like
of stuff.
74
Sold some
kilos.
stuff.
So you can imagine having 2 cars filled with everything. You're backpacking, like you've got everything in your car. You also stay at like.
Yeah, but the thing is, we weren't backpacking
not
at all by
backpacking,
that
but I mean,
stage.
as
By
you're-
that stage, we'd
as
been
you're
in
being a
Australia for
backpacker.
5 years,
Yeah,
so we had
exactly, but
5 years worth of
5 years worth of
life.
stuff, and it all was like we were just looking, being like, "Oh, can we now? How do you even get rid of all this?" But anyway, it all worked out. And we got rid of it all, and it all worked out. We actually sold our car on the day of our flight.
Worked out
Like,
really
that's
well.
how well it worked out. It
The
was
place
so
we were actually
strange.
getting the train
Train
from,
to, yeah.
that's where the buyers lived. So
We
we
were
just
getting-
drove our car there, which was like an hour and a half away or
Yeah.
something. met them at the train station. They came, picked up the car, and
they
then
give us,
wham
they
bam,
give
thank
us
you, ma'am.
cash, and we just went to the flight later on, and then we went to KL, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Am I saying that right? Kuala Lumpur. Anyway, so we went there, spent a few nights there. It was quite nice, and then we went to start work in Phuket. And there's an
skip that part.
That's a skippity do. We
will get to it
that.
sometime, but it's not real. Not that it's a big deal, but it's just. It was the dream job. It was a dream. It was exactly what we wanted, aligned with everything, all our values. We just then quickly realized that the whole reason that we, left home at this stage 5.5 years ago was to travel. We always said no commitments. We're not settling down. We've made the decision that we're not having kids. Mm-hmm. That's not happening because we want to travel, and a big part of that is that I think we get bored really easily. And we've been in the situation in Australia many times where they've wanted to sponsor us, and we kept being like, we do want to get sponsored, of course. Why would you not want to get sponsored and be a resident of Australia? Like, come on. Mm-hmm. But then X amount of months down the line, we're like bored, and it's like you have to commit to like 3 to 5 years at the same job.
It's not fair letting the business, Australia company needs to invest in you, and they need to know that you're committed for at least 3 years, and we just can't. Like, it's not fair on the business. It's not fair on us if we don't really want that. If it doesn't.
Well, the thing is, we always think what we do want it, and then like we genuinely think we do want it, and we're like, oh, we could do this, we could rent this house, or we could, save up for this car, like, and then it takes a little till the honeymoon phase nearly wears off, and then we're like, I'm bored. What's next?
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Basically, we're just like we're working a lot, which is fine. That's what you do when you're in a manager role. Our problem is we put like 120,000% into everything.
It's like no harm to like any other culture or nationality or whatever in the world, but I think us.
What are you gonna say?
No,
it doesn't sound great. No offense to any other culture.
No, it's not offense, but us in Northern Ireland, like I know a lot of Northern Irish people, and we do work hard. Like the majority of us do work hard. It's just because we've just been brought up to like work, and you always do your best. That's just the way. It's the way I've been brought up. It's the way you've been brought up.
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. So when you go to other countries, you need to adapt to like their style of work. So like in Australia, it's a bit laid back, and then the likes of Thailand, it's like super laid back. Mm-hmm. So when you bring our like hard working and like standard of like we need everything, we want to get it done, and
it's hospitality at the end of the day.
Hospitality industry,
and that's something that we've really learned from here is like chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Why do we always want everything right now? Yeah. Like whether that's in a restaurant, like we were actually watching a vlog earlier, and like he made a good point. Like it's quite common here. Your food will come out when it's ready. So if you're sitting at a table of 4 people, you've all ordered whatever you've ordered, like your food might come out separate, like a half an hour. Okay, that's probably not ideal, like, but my point is that just chill out. You're gonna get your food. Yeah. You're gonna be fed. Yeah. But why do we, as I don't know, is it? Well, it's not just like us. It's as white people. I don't know. It's Americans. It's British. It's Irish. It's everyone. Yeah, we just want it now, and we want it, prompt. And I don't know why we've like been brought up like that.
That's why a lot of us from the UK are like we're stress heads, because we're wanting everything now, and if it's not now or done right, we're stressed. Like everyone's stressed out because it is quite fast paced. Yeah. You know what I mean? You go to London Heathrow. Like we flew in there, we're like, what is going on here? Everyone's going mad. And then you fly into like the likes of, I don't know, KL, and everyone's like dandy, and it's just a completely different mindset. But it's our fault that we keep you know what I mean, we don't try and get out of it. We bring our kids up to be the same, and they bring their kids up to be the same, and it's just a never ending cycle. It's never going to change.
And like I get it, like if you're trying to help a business, and I get it, but
pros definitely
just chill. Like we really need to learn to chill out.
And we've told ourselves for our like next
job,
job, we said that we're gonna take it easy. Like, we're not gonna give 120%. We're gonna give 100%,
and that's
which
it.
is like, if you
Which
know,
is-
if you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
If you get it, you get it. And for those Irish and British and whatever who, Scottish, English, I don't know about that one, but we'll see. Who go to Australia, you will know that a lot of places will only hire backpackers from those places, because we do, like, we've worked with, during our time in Australia, we've worked with a lot of different nationalities.
Yeah.
And I'm not slagging any of them.
no.
It's, if anything,
Some
they're
are
doing it
nice.
right. They're just chilling, you
'Cause
know.
it's
And
their
at the end of the
different-
day,
their different way
you're
of life. Like, for instance, like Spanish, when you go over to Spain, like, everyone's laid back, and it's just the way it is. And they work, and they have siestas and blah de blah, and everything's a bit more. It's just the way it is. So they come over because they've been brought up like that, and then they come over to Australia, and Australia is a bit fast paced because it's kind of like it's kind of similar to the UK. So Australians see that and be like, oh well, like he's not really putting in the work. And then they see like the likes of Northern Irish people who we've been like brought up like work, and they see that we just put in like so much effort, and they're like, flip me, we're paying him the same as him, like we might as well just get more of these guys in,
Yeah.
like, because they're just gonna work their ass off too much. Like, I'm not saying it's not a good thing, like, we just work.
No, it's not. You at the start you think you're class because
Good
it's
for
like
business.
everyone's like, oh, I love the Irish, I love having the Irish working for me or whatever.
And we like
But
to
it gets to a
drink,
point where it's like, no, we're actually carrying everyone here, and
because everything's fine,
we know this isn't just our opinion. We've spoke to a lot of
we've got
other friends and people that we know, and they've said the exact same thing. So if you are, because I know it's really weird. There's a lot of people now going to Australia. I feel more than there was when we went, and it was already a big thing whenever we went.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot more. I feel like it's definitely going to be a lot more harder now for people to get like jobs.
Yes, but I think the standard of the job when we were there, it was like the place it was flooded with backpackers, so they could pay you really low. They could treat you like shit. They could have you working loads of hours for buttons, like literally. But from the pandemic, from all that, they've definitely there's a lot more rights, I think, and businesses have had to put their their pays up and whatever, because like it was so hard. So I definitely think it's different now. On that note, I don't believe this is for the Irish, but for if you have a British passport from this July, from the 1st of July this year, you can now get 3 years in Australia with no farm work.
Oh yeah.
None.
Wow. Okay. I think that kind of like. I mean, it's pretty cool, because I think it's.
We can say that because we went through it.
Yeah, but we went through.
But realistically, if
everyone's
we
went
could have
through-
changed it.
Yeah, if you could have changed, of course. But I think it's also good, especially for like people us back home. Like, there's not many. I mean, obviously you go out to the countryside and there's farming, but like where you're from, if you're from the city,
Yeah, well, you're
and
never
you've
going to get the
never,
experience
like,
that.
being on a tractor and stuff like that. Like, it's awesome to be like, fuck, I know how this works, you know, because.
Well, the thing is, we can look back now and we're like, we've got great stories to tell. At the time, it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
We went through some fucking some situations we've been in. Looking back now, that's funny. But if we were to do it all over again, would you?
I mean, there's a few that I actually probably would do it, but just not.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about like the jobs. I'm talking about the situation. Like, remember even trying to find a job, we did our farm work in like the minimum amount of days that you can do it before our visa ended.
Oh yeah. And
you know, like I don't think it's like that now.
I don't think we actually completed our farm work properly. Legitimately,
we definitely
I think we done like a few different things to make it. Like, I think we done like I think you're supposed to do 88 days, and we done like 81 days, and it was such a struggle like to actually record it all, because at that time it was like all about like we were picking oranges and stuff like that, and it was all about like temperature. of the mornings, like if it was too cold, you
Couldn't
didn't
be
have
below
work.
like 13 degrees.
So
right?
then, then
In
it was
South
like
Australia,
it was like
in
piece
the winter.
rate. So it didn't on the pay slips. It was just like 1 week you might have got like $80, and like when you can put it in as a pay slip, but it doesn't count. Like
It had to be a
the
minimum
people,
amount, didn't it?
Like immigration are going to look at that and be like, mate, like you filled 2 bins in 1 week. That's not a week's work. So that's not 88 days, right? So it was a bit of a struggle, but anyway, we're here.
I think we've spoke about possibly about like the oranges and stuff in other podcasts, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I think for the next number of podcasts while we're here, we
got
definitely will get like, because we're going back to Australia.
We're going back to Australia.
We actually really
I've actually
thought
got,
we were done.
for all the viewers watching, I've actually got Australia on my Australia themed sleeve that is nearly finished. Got it a few years ago, still haven't really got round to it, but there's obviously a calling for Australia. And
Well, the thing is, we thought, like, don't get me wrong, we
got
of course
that
we loved
connection.
it. Obviously, we loved it. Like, it's changed us as people. We're not the same people that we were when we first went to Australia. We're completely different people now in many different ways. But when we did leave Australia to go to Thailand, we genuinely thought we were done with it.
Yeah.
And it has called us back.
Yeah, which is
And look,
okay.
to be honest, it's...
We've had our best.
We did
definitely
say...
had our best times in
Yeah,
Australia.
of course. And we did say if we were going to... Because we haven't done it all. We haven't seen it all. We've done top to bottom East Coast. We did the Nullarbor. We've done up to Perth. We haven't done any further than Perth on the West Coast. We've been to Darwin just because we flew in to go to Bali and back. But that from Perth up we haven't seen, and we haven't seen Tasmania. So we did actually say if we were to go back, we would have to go somewhere like that. And that's what we are doing. I don't want to really mention where we're going yet because we're not 100% sure. Well, we are, but...
Well, yeah, so what we've got to say is we have got a lot of juicy content awaiting for y'all. And it's like, put it this way, for instance, the bike sitch, the accident, that only happened 3 days ago.
Well, we can talk about that.
We can talk about that. We'll
No,
talk about that. We can talk about it in the next podcast because
we're going to forget. This is the thing.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that in the next podcast. The thing is the bike thing was only 3 days ago, and that's not even like we've got our list of our content that we're about, what we're wanting to talk about, and the bike thing wasn't even on it, and that was 3 days ago. So we've got that situation. We'll get that out of our way. Like we'll do that in the next podcast because I feel like we've talked, and like this is only a little get to know us, testing the mic, testing. Just saying hi, what's up, and
What's happening?
just being like,
What's happening for?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cool. We're in Thailand, like North Thailand, just podcasting, like
Anything to say?
Northern Irish jippos, like it's good fun. So
Yes, so this was kind of just, I don't even know how long we've done. I don't even know how to tell how long we've done. So
what I do encourage people to do is
travel.
Like we are not minted. We are
Never
not
were.
minted, never have been. And you really can. If you want to do traveling, you make it.
Well, this
work.
is the whole reason that we initially started the podcast, 2 years ago, whatever it was because the amount of friends from back home that we speak to, and they're like, I wish I could do what you could do. I wish. And I think people
are
don't,
doing it
like,
now,
we
aren't they?
didn't know until we actually did it. We didn't know how, it's not easy at all. It's not easy, but how doable it is, even if you don't have a lot of savings, you know, a good support system.
I mean, I think it's
all
easier.
possible.
It is actually easier now for, like, you get the visa for Australia. We got the visa and didn't have a job or anything. So the thing is that you needed to have a certain amount in your bank account to then go to Australia. So the thing is now it's a lot easier because you can just, what I encourage you to do is just email places and get the job lined up. Like that's what we always do, get a job lined up, and then it takes a bit of weight off your shoulders, and then you know that, right, these funds can do me until there. I can maybe splash out on this. I maybe have to cut back on this, and then you just work it out. And that I think that's the best, because then you know that, like, the thing is with us back home, most of us we all like a bit of security, right? We're always like thinking, but what if, you have no money, and what's gonna happen? So I think the thing is you always just have something waiting ahead, and then you're just living.
But
to
also,
that.
the best times we've had has been when we've had,
yeah,
when we've
nothing.
like, I'm not being over dramatic, when we've had $80 in our account,
yeah,
less at times.
Yeah.
And they're
It's
the
good
best
times.
times we have, and that's why we've got all the stories. I personally never thought I'd be one of those people that could even cope with that. I know I've changed a lot. Like, I used to freak out,
Yeah.
and now I'm just like,
But I think
fuck
that's
it.
that's
We've been in
kinda-
worse situations.
I've definitely. It's been fun, but I tell you what, it's definitely give us a bit of trauma.
Oh yeah,
Like now, where it's like you've got 1,000 Aussie dollars between us. Like we're going like, oh, like we can't go any lower than that because we've been.
we know what
in
it's
that
like to be lower
situation.
than that.
But when we were in that situation, like we thought we were millionaires when we had like $100. We'd be like, yeah, we've got $100. Like we're fine, we're sweet, and we still managed to like
I don't
always
know.
get.
We always
got
had
your
wine.
drink,
We always had
always
a wine.
had wine in the fridge. Somehow, I don't know why.
I don't
but
know.
Somehow it always works out.
It does.
If you want something, you can get it. Trust me. If you want it that much, it happens. It's manifestation. It all happens. It all works out.
Yeah.
Just positive. And like, what's the worst that can happen? Like,
I know. Like worst
Yeah.
worst case scenario, you have to go back home, and you go on the brew.
go on the brew. Like, no,
Like
man.
fuck's
Just,
sake.
like, fuck's sake. I was applying for a job. Like,
I've
will.
literally never been on the brew in my life. I have no idea how it works.
no, it's a nightmare. I was actually talking about that the other day. Remember, you used to like.
I've got sweat dripping down my
Nothing to do
knees.
with the brew, but you remember you used to. There was actually a time where you got paid, like from work or from the brew or whatever, and you had to physically go to the bank machine and put your card in and check balance. And that was the best. That was actually the best feeling ever when you put your card in. You're like check balance, and you're like, fuck,
I got
I got
paid.
80 quid. What is
I actually
that?"
can remember times like getting 36.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know
36.
why 36
Do you ever
stands out to me.
remember-
36 because I like worked a Saturday.
Yeah, do you ever remember getting like say you got 116.50 or something, and then you used to go, right, well, I'll lift out 110.
Leave a 50
And then, no,
for a rainy
no,
day.
the 650. No, you'd have went and got like spent something like the first thing you needed was like I don't know, like a fucking, I'm gonna say like a bottle of Buckfast, right? Just for instance, a bottle of drink. Like you would lift out the 110 cash, and then you would go and buy that with a thing. You would just clean out your whole bank. Or what you could have done if you really could be arsed is go to the post office. So
What are you doing at the post office?
you can lift out the spare change. So
Huh?
you know the way, obviously, like say you've 116.50 in your bank account, you can only lift out 110 in notes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you go to the post office and just put in, they give you everything. So you just go, give me it all, and they'll give you £116.50.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. So we used to do that sometimes. But anyway, so, I mean, I didn't do that like I was meant to.
Goodbye, because we got
That was
bombarded
hard.
by a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah,
So
just got break
I know,
to
it's just
for
really
like
awkward.
45 minutes,
and
yeah, no, we're just like, okay.
kind of killed the mood.
Thanks
So
for running the last bit of our video.
okay, right, we're gonna go
Anyway.
and take this inside before we
Yeah.
get bombarded again.
We're about to get bombarded. I feel it in it. Here we go. When you get that feeling, we gotta go.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you for
Bye.
listening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening to Danny and Baz Blabbing On. Remember, if they can do it, so can you. Just wing it.